Hi guys, today I'm back with another advice video. Ever since I moved to London, I've been getting emails and messages from people who also want to move here, just asking me for advice with regards to like flat hunting in London. So today I thought I would film a quick, video telling you some tips and what I have learned through the whole process, because I've been living here for 10 months and I've moved 3 times already, so I like to believe I'm quite knowledgeable about the topic. So yeah, I'm gonna tell you a little bit about that today. Before I get into it, I would just like to say that make sure that you're mentally prepared for finding a room or a flat in London, because it is very stressful and also very expensive. So unless you're a millionaire, make sure that you know that you'll probably have to share a flat with a person you might or might not know, or maybe even share a room if your budget is really tight. I just wanted to stress that before I move on with the video, because yeah, it's just flat hunting in London is very nerve-wracking, and I've had quite a few emotional breakdowns during the process, and yeah, I don't know, just keep that in mind. Okay, I'm just gonna start with like the first topic now, which is like where to look for a flat or a room. Now, before you even start looking, you obviously have to know what kind of room you're looking for, or what kind of flat you're looking for, if you're looking for a flat or if you're looking for a room, and whether you want to go through a private landlord or an agency. Obviously both options have ups and downs, and I'm just going to share some of those with you first. If you move to London and don't have a job yet, and if you're just looking for something, for a room to rent for like a few months, going through a private landlord will definitely be a lot easier, because agency usually require you to rent a place for a year, and they will also do like a background check. So if you don't have like a job and your salary is not high enough to cover the expenses, they might turn you down, or you'll have to pay in advance, which is what I had to do when I rented the place I live in now. Just for the reference, the place that I live in now, I rented it through an agency, and the previous place I lived at, I went through a private landlord. So I know how it is for both options. But yeah, finding a place through a private landlord is probably easier for the start, and there are also no agency fees, which can be up to £500 high, which is a lot. So yeah, it's also like the cheapest option. I do have to mention that, just be very careful with private landlords and with agencies, because there are a lot of scams going around, which I was terrified of. But yeah, just make sure you check everything. If everything is legit, do background checks, go see the place. Never rent a place just by looking at photos. Like, always go see a place in person, and never ever pay with cash. Always go through the bank, because if something does go wrong, you have the proof, you have bank statements, and yeah, just never pay with cash. Okay, to go back to the original topic, where to look, I used a few websites that I would, recommend to you. The first one is spareroom.com, which is where you can upload your own ad and say that you're looking for a place. You can search through other ads and see what's available. You can contact like a landlord or an agent through an ad. And obviously there are also other people on there. So if you find a flat that has 2 rooms but don't know anyone who would rent out a place with you, you also have this function called Buddy Up, and you can find a person there who you want to share, I guess, that apartment with. So that's very handy. Yeah, it's definitely a good site, but as I have said, be careful. Spareroom.com is a site where I feel like most private landlords are on. There are some agents on there as well, but mostly private landlords, I would say. And then some other sites where mostly agencies put on ads are Rightmove, Zoopla, and Gumtree, although Gumtree is also like a agency and private landlord field, I don't know. And then obviously the agencies also have their own websites, and this is where they put their own ads on. So yeah, you have tons of websites available to you. Moving on to the second point, before you even start looking for a place, make sure you know which areas you would prefer to live in and what is your price point, because here in London, like in every big city, you have areas that are very expensive, you have areas that are a little more affordable. I wouldn't really say affordable because everywhere is crazy expensive, but you know, you have areas that are ridiculously expensive. And then obviously you also have areas that are safe and areas that are maybe a little bit sketchy, so definitely do a lot of research. Generally, I would say the areas in the west are more expensive and safer, and like the areas on the east are a little cheaper and sometimes sketchy, but you have nice areas in the east and you have bad areas in the west as well. So I don't really want to like generalize it. Certain areas also, for example, have very good neighborhoods and very bad neighborhoods. So just do your research, and when you go check out a place, make sure you have a walk around the area and see how the atmosphere is, see what kind of people live there, and yeah, just that's the best thing to do. In terms of the price, obviously the further away from central London you go, the cheaper the rents are gonna be, or you will just get like a nicer, larger place for the same amount of money, for example. But if you do move a bit further away from central London, also make sure that you're close to the tube or that the bus links are great, because I guess the main transportation here in London is the tube or the underground. And if you don't live close to an underground station, your life can get complicated basically. It's just easier to live in a walking distance to an underground station because the trains are very frequent. The whole city is very well connected with the underground. But yeah, if you find a place that is not very close to an underground station, just make sure you have a lot of buses available to you. You know, the buses that take you to an underground station. And then when you go check out the place, always have a list of questions with you. Some of the questions that I would ask is if the bills are included in the rent, because with private landlords they sometimes are, but if you're like renting out a whole flat through an agency, the bills are just never included in the price, and they can be like about, I don't know, £200 a month, which is a lot of money. So yeah, make sure you know whether or not you have to pay the bills separately. Also ask how long the lease is and if there's any way you can get out of it beforehand, you know, what are your options. And also ask about all the other costs, because you will, again, you might have to pay agency fees. You will definitely have to pay a security deposit, which is usually a month or 6 weeks worth of rent, which is a lot of money. So make sure you have that saved up before you even start looking for a place. Yeah, you'll usually have to pay like the first month of rent and the security deposit all at once, and you know, the fees if there are any. So yeah, have quite a bit of money saved up beforehand. Some will also require a holding deposit so that they, you know, save up the place for you. But as I have said, never give cash. And again, as I have said, be prepared to pay upfront, because if you don't have a job, some people might require you to pay all the rent at once, which, you know, can be very, very expensive. A lot of people ask me, obviously, how much places cost here, and I would say £600 and up per month without the bills. And this is kind of like not even to live in a nice place, if that makes sense. Yeah, I don't overreact when I say that the rents here are high. I think London is like the most expensive city in the world. Yeah, the money that you have to pay for just for the rent is, it's quite a lot. So keep that in mind before you move here. Moving on to the next tip, I guess. Once you do find a place that you like, just take it. I mean, obviously, like, take 2 minutes for yourself to think about it, but when you decide that you want to have it, just take it, because if you're not gonna take it, a person after you will, and you'll be without a flat. Like, things here in London move very, very quickly, like everywhere, especially when it comes to flat hunting. And you just have to be very quick with your decisions and actions. I know it can be very hard because I'm that kind of a person that has to think through the stuff. Like, I want to just make sure that I'm doing the right thing. I need to think about it, I need to slip things through, and I wasn't able to do that when it came to flat hunting here, which flat hunting is like kind of a big deal, you know? Deciding to rent out a flat is like one of the biggest decisions in your life, I would say, and the fact that you have to be so impulsive can be very stressful, but you just have to be. Yeah, you just have to, basically. Yeah, like I said, if you like a flat, just take it and don't think about it too much, because chances are a person who comes after you will take it instead of you if you don't. That's kind of it. Obviously, before you rent out a flat, make sure you read the contract and that everything is clear to you. Make sure that everything is in the contract so that there aren't any problems in the future. If something looks wrong or weird, address it and fix it before you sign it. But yeah, I think that's everything I wanted to tell you about today. Obviously, if you have any more questions, I would be happy to help you out. So just leave them in the comments below and I'll answer them. If you feel like this video might be useful to someone you know, please send it to them or something, because I know that this kind of like first-hand information is very valuable, and yeah, if you do know anyone who might find this video useful, just share it with them. Yeah, thanks for watching. Give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it, if you find it useful. And also don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you would like to see more videos from me. If you want to see any other advice videos based around, you know, life in London or anything else, any topic goes basically with me. Yeah, if you want to see more advice videos, tell me, and if you have like any specific suggestions, leave them below. But yeah, thank you for watching, and I will see you guys soon. Bye!